Speedway Tavern. Speedway Tavern. Speedway Tavern. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy your stay. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. What's the news today? Have a drink, have your say. All opinions here today. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. Enjoy your stay.
Okay, so good evening and welcome, taverners. Welcome to the Speedway Tavern. How are we doing, folks?
Good, thank you very much.
Wet, yes. That was a bit of a long pause before we actually got to talking to our listener. What's going on?
Sorry,
Well, I thought when I walked in that you were going to perform it live.
I've got things. It's
have my
quite
instrument
difficult
in the
making
corner,
you sound
yes.
good, you know.
I beg your pardon?
It's quite difficult trying to make you sound good.
I thought you gave that up years ago, to be honest.
It's not good.
Yeah, well, there's not an awful lot of Speedway that's happened between now and last week.
No, apart from a quite bizarre,
Wasn't it?
Premiership semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll come on to that, and I'm sure people will have their own opinions. I've just got one thing to say. I said it earlier, didn't I? It's so nice to see Paul pulled. That's,
I don't think there've been too many people disagreeing with it. To be fair. Apart from our listeners in Poole,
of course, yeah, and I know how they feel.
Yeah, I know how they feel as well.
It's hey, to be fair to Matt Ford, he's been quite what's not unanimous? What's the word I'm looking for? He's been quite good. That's the word. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I
told there was a reason you have me on the few weeks.
That's the one, is it? Magnanimous
and
can say it.
Yeah.
Which I obviously can't. So, okay, we got anything happening on the shout box before we go any further? Is there anything happening on the shout box before we go any further? Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, do you think we'd rehearse this, wouldn't you? So
I'll tell you what, we'll say hello to a few people.
Yeah.
Shut up for a bit. Okay. So we'll say hello to there's quite a few people on. Jeremiah.
Hello,
Andrew
Jeremiah.
Gardner, Paul Wood, Pauline Rawlings, Chris Brown, whoever he is, Paul Wood, Barry Larn, Alan Atherton. A few of the regulars are on. Jeff Daniels, Paul Wood, Simon Corbett, Susan Jordan. Ooh, quite a lot. Anders Karlberg, John Bulmer, Paul Sullivan, Jim Turrell. Whew, they're all in tonight.
Well, it just proves one thing, doesn't it?
They've got nothing else to do.
It's raining. It's raining everywhere by the sounds of it. Would you like to let our listeners know how to take part?
Okay, well, at the moment, the only way you can take part, listen, is on Facebook Live. So just search for us on Facebook. We're on all good Facebook pages and groups concerned with Speedway. Or if you've got the app, the Podbean app, you can go onto Podbean and listen to us on there as well.
Okay. Can't call, can they, at the moment?
They can't call at the moment, no. The call system's down. They can try, but...
I mean, by all means try, because we'd love to get some callers on. There was a few of you poised last week, and then we don't bite. I don't. Anyway. I don't know about Matt. I think he's been to see the dentist about it.
Yeah, well. We won't discuss that any further.
Before we go any further, you came in with a bit of a grin this morning, saying a bit of possible good news at Coventry.
Yes, let me just try and get the statement up. It is quite a long statement, so I'll just pick the highlights out of it. An independent report into the planning application on Brandon Stadium has firmly concluded that the National Planning Policy Framework guidelines have not been met by the developers. Consultants WIG have reported to Rugby Borough Council after a thorough examination of documents from both representatives of the developers and from the Save Coventry Speedway and Stocks Car campaign group, who are seeking to secure the return of both sports to the area after the forced closure of Brandon Stadium at the end of the 2016 season. The developers submitted their planning application in January 2018, which at the time omitted a sports needs assessment, which followed in September 2018. This sought to prove that the stadium was not viable and that there was no ongoing need for a replacement. A suitable alternative provision existed somewhere else for Speedway, with Coventry operating at Leicester, and for stock cars at other venues within a 70-mile radius. The campaign group submitted extensive documents to expose numerous untruths and inaccuracies during the planning material, and at the planning meeting in November 2018, the former leader of Rugby Council, Michael Stokes, announced that an independent review would be commissioned prior to the planning committee. The consultants met with all interested parties, including representatives of the developers, the campaign group and governing bodies of both Speedway and stock car racing earlier this year. Their report was issued to the developers and the campaign group in advance of going into the public domain on Monday, September the 30th. So that's the crux of the statement. There are several key points. I have put the full statement on the Facebook page if anybody wants to have a look through it. But maybe a glimmer of hope for the Bees getting back to Brandon.
Yeah, it would be nice to think so. Has there been any statements from any of the supporters?
Yes, Jeff Davis, who of course has been very vocal, and fair play to Jeff Davis, because a lot of people have said, well, maybe you should be just focusing on trying to get somewhere else. But he's always said that if he didn't think Coventry could get back into Brandon, he wouldn't be fighting so hard. Campaign group spokesman Jeff Davis said, "We have waited for this report for 10 months since the public meeting last year, and we are very pleased that the consultants have concurred with every point that are made in our representations to Rugby Council. At no time during the last 3 years have we believed the fight to save Brandon was a lost cause. Speedway and stock car racing are great family sports, with Speedway having been staged there for 90 years, and both sports are vitally important to the area. The consultants recommended that the campaign group are involved in any discussions to meet paragraph 97B, should the developers agree that this could be a way forward. We are absolutely open to be involved in any discussions with the developers and Rugby Council, and are aimed at finding a solution in order to bring about the return of Speedway and stock car racing to the area for future generations to enjoy."
Do you know what? If that happened, that some way or other we could get Coventry back in a meaningful way. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, it just was a turnaround to all the bad news that we've been getting, with Stoke closing, Rye House last year, etc., etc.
Well, that's one of the crux of the main thing that's been pointed out in the statement, is that Brandon's been closed without any viable option being given to us. Same, you could argue, I suppose, with Stoke, because that was sort of last minute, wasn't it? They were told that they had to leave because it was being sold.
Such a shame.
Yeah,
such a shame. Right, we've got a few comments. We might as well start. If we don't start getting through them, I'll start shouting us like last week.
There's loads after this one.
We can't keep up with it, but we do our best. Yeah. Paul Wood sort of hits the nail on the head, really. Blooming 6 teams in the league, and they can't wrap up the playoffs till October. I can't argue with that, can you? Particularly, there were some teams, I think, was it Peterborough's one, didn't have any meetings through August. Yeah. When it was beautiful weather.
And of course, we've got the Supporters' Cup meetings taking place this week, haven't we?
Yes.
We already know who's won it.
Yes.
Only in Speedway.
Yeah, only in Speedway. Alan Etherson, I presume, answering to something else. What have they manipulated? Perhaps you could give us a bit more meat on the bones, what we're talking about there. Okay. No one's mentioning Ipswich getting MK8, yet when Wolves did it with Ty, there was uproar. Yes, and Paul did it with Greg Hancock. I remember.
I think it happens, unfortunately.
It does. If it's within the rules, I guess you can't say a lot about it. But I could understand if you're in Paul. I know from past experience, it rankles. It does. It really does. And it still hasn't left me. I might have to go and have a lie down in a minute.
By the way, we will keep you up to date with the first leg of the first championship semi-final.
Yes.
Glasgow against Somerset.
In fact,
we will do that now. We've had 7 races, and it is Glasgow 22, Somerset 20.
It's close, mate.
Close, yeah. Chris Harris was beaten in his first race by Craig Cook, but won his second race. Rorish Lyons unbeaten.
And the thing is, you could see it being exactly as close in the return leg as well, couldn't you?
Well, I'll look at the two squads, the two sides there. I think Somerset with Nathan Stoneman and Luke Harris look a bit suspect at reserve. I think Glasgow got Conor Bailey and Carl Bickley. So
we shall see.
yeah, I think you'd have to make Glasgow favourites for that, but you never know. Somerset can keep it close.
Well, yeah. Who did we make favourites out of Pool Ipswich? And we'll come on to that.
Yeah,
we'll come on to that in a minute because it was a bizarre couple of meetings.
We'll let the Pool fans know when they can turn off. So.
Simon Corbett says he's booked Thursday as a holiday to go to Swindon. Weather looks very dodgy. You fool. Yeah, we've all done it. Paul would come to Brum to shout for Cradley. I should say, Cradley have really got their. It's a tough ask, isn't it?
It's a tall order.
Leicester,
it's a tall order.
Very good team.
I think the blessing really for Cradley is that they've got the home leg first.
But that's the point. They haven't got a home leg.
Yeah.
It's been neutralised. We know that the Wolverhampton track has a particular advantage. I think, particularly in the lower league, to be honest. But no, there's nobody holds. Paddy Bar doesn't hold any demons for anybody, really, does it?
Not really. No, it's a fairly simple track to ride, isn't it? To be fair.
So I think they're really. And I would nearly said, with good luck to them, but I can't quite bring myself. I'm sorry.
Well, Leicester, of course, having Daniel Hume in their side. He knows.
He knows Paddy Bar.
So
he really does, and he probably thinks he's got a point to prove at Paddy Bar as well after the shenanigans that went on this year.
Maybe.
Anders Karlberg, Sweden says hello, mates. But not in an Australian accent, which for some reason I gave. Hello there. I was in Sweden earlier this year. So
Okay, it was nothing like a Swedish accent.
No, it was nothing like it. It wasn't really like an Australian accent, if I'm honest about it. Paul Sullivan, evening lads, hope you're well. Only in Britain can they drag out such a long season. Should be done and dusted by now. Don't think there's any arguments in here. No, fair enough. Jim Thurl, evening taverners, just like to say what a magnificent job the Witches did over Paul. A team of fighters, not defeatists. Job almost done.
Do you know what? I think Paul went into that second leg thinking they'd already got it. I think because they'd had such,
they've done well at
take nothing away from Paul. Take nothing away from Paul. That comeback in the first leg was unbelievable. To come back from
12 down, you saw that,
to win it by 10. They just blitzed Ipswich in the second half of the meeting. Ipswich just didn't have any answers, and I think they probably thought, well, Ipswich are going to be deflated. But fair play to Ipswich. They went at them early. I don't think I've ever been to a meeting where there's been
every single
the first 11 races were all 5-1s.
All 5-1s. The first unbelievable.
Yeah, it was an incredible. It probably wasn't the best racing. I thought the track was quite difficult, to be fair. But the way that it sort of ebbed and flowed, really. Fair play to Nikolai Clint as well, because him and Nico Cavati to a lesser extent kept Paul in it in the second leg, to be honest. But it's Ipswich in the final, and I don't think any of us three in the room said
we didn't predict
Ipswich would
in the playoffs. We got all our predictions wrong, I think, for that one. I wish we should. Is that giving you renewed hope in the Wolverhampton Swindon fixture?
Obviously the rains intervened in that one because, of course, the first leg should have been yesterday. But personally, it suits me, to be fair, to have the second leg at home. To be honest, because you know where you got but you know what you got to do then, don't you? So it's going to be. If it's on Thursday, of course, hopefully the weather will be kind, and because the second leg's already been put back to Monday, so they don't want to have to keep putting it back and back. At least there's a 2 or 3 week grace before the official end of the season to get fixtures in.
Might need it all at this rate.
Yeah, we might need it. Maybe we'll need it all. I don't know what'll happen if they're not able to get it in before. Do they give Ipswich the lead because they're the only team that are in the final?
They're in the final. That'd be. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. What did you make of track preparation for the second leg? This is Craig Smee. Many riders struggling to turn the bike, especially pool riders. Bad advert for the sport on TV, really. I thought the track was very, very deep, to be fair.
a lot of the riders sort of going into bends and missing the bends.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Ipswich, I've never been to Ipswich. It's one of the few tracks in the top flight that I haven't been to. I know there's not many. But, I mean, obviously, I've watched meetings on there over the years, and, you know...
It's a tight little
track. It's a tight track. A lot of people say it's quite similar to Wolves, but fairness, Wolves haven't always had a great record there, to be honest. It's always a track that Wolves, even when Wolves were dominating the sport in the early 90s, it was always a track where Wolves used to come unstuck, to be fair, so...
Paul Sullivan says, lads, no pool talk tonight. Still drowning our sorrows. I sort of feel for you, being there, done that.
Yeah.
No, but fair play to Hippo. I hope they go on and win it now. Good luck, you, that's what Paul Sullivan says. And Ben T-Boy Clifton, the National League Riders Championship Sunday. What's the panel's prediction?
Yeah, it's Scunthorpe.
I think the weather might win. I'll get you to get the if you don't mind, get the lineup. Okay, we'll go through the lineup.
We've got Ryan Kinsley, Kyle Bickley, Jordan Palin, Ben Morley, Ellis Perks, Daniel Hume, Danny Phillips, Joe Lawler, Jason Edwards, Nathan Stoneman, Drew Kemp, Dano Verge, Max Clegg, Anders Rowe, Connor Coles, Ben Wilson, and your reserves are Dan and Joe Thompson.
That's quite a lineup, isn't it?
Quite a lot, yeah. That's a tough one to call, that is.
You've got to think Daniel Hume's got a chance. You've got to think Ellis Perks.
Ellis Perks has had a good season, to be fair. He's done well in the championship as well.
Drew Kemp, possibly.
Yeah, Jordan Palin's had a good season for the Colts.
It's Ben Morley, maybe.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call, that is. Max Clegg's had a good season.
Clegg, another one. Yeah. Max Clegg's had a very
especially
good
season.
Especially
if he gates, because it's, I mean, it's at Scunthorpe, which is a good races track, so...
but Clegg is fast, isn't he?
Yeah. I'd fancy Ellis Perks myself. He'd be my tip to win it.
Yeah. He does sort of stick out. I'd like to say Daniel Hume, but I don't. I think it might be Max Clegg. I think because he's won individuals before. I think the jury's still out a little bit on Ellis Perks' temperament.
Yeah.
But he seems to have done a lot of work putting that right this year.
He seems to have got his head down a bit more this season, hasn't he? So,
I think I might keep my eye on that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Paul PV Racing says looks good for Coventry with that report. Well, it's certainly doesn't look bad.
Doesn't look bad. There's a lot less. It's not.
Yeah,
we're not. Let's not kid ourselves that next season Coventry are going to be back racing at Brandon. It's going to be a long old process, I think, and I think the Safe Coventry group know the same thing as well. So it's it's one thing. It's one thing stopping Brandon Estates from building on it, but they've then got to try and get the side back off them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of water.
The next hurdle. So.
Or they've got to put their money where their mouth is and provide somewhere.
And then, of course, I think people who've seen the pictures of Brandon racing know there's an awful lot of work that's going to have to be done to get that stadium back.
It's almost a knock it down job and start again, isn't it? Which would be
it's almost derelict.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, as long as the track's fine, then then that's,
but the stadium
probably wouldn't be the Brandon of old.
No,
but
because it was a great stadium, wasn't it? Track sometimes left just.
I think it was better when it was reshaped.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've seen some great meetings there after the track was.
I've seen reshaped. Some great meetings when we beat them.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd see that in the 80s. So, there you go.
Well, Birmingham went there a few times in the 80s, didn't they? I think.
No, at Coventry, no.
I'm sure they did towards the end.
I don't think so. I'll have to get the records out. Yeah. I'm sure your dad will know. He'll be on in a minute.
He's probably typing as we speak.
Sean Simmer Simpson, why is it in Speedway people want a meeting to be done in an hour and a half and a season to finish as soon as it started? We'd all be bored if it was over and GP still going till weekend. Value for money, yeah.
Oh, we've got to talk about the GP as well. It's the deciding one.
Yes, we will talk about the GP.
We'll come to that later on.
But I think there's a few things to sort of pick the bones out of that one, that little comment. I think it's not value for money if a meeting goes on for 2.5 hours or 2 hours if nothing's happening in that 2.5 hours. If
downtime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's downtime. So it's not that particularly want it to be done in an hour and a half, but we want the racing to happen
Yeah.
and not.
Unless you're Frank Ebdens.
Yes.
That's another story.
So and if that downtime was filled with something meaningful and it went on for 2 hours or 2.5 hours, then you probably wouldn't be moaning about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very difficult to put something meaningful in a speedway context. That isn't speedway.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's the first thing. And yes, we would have been. I already am bored because it is over for Birmingham for this season. But that just gets juices flowing for next year, doesn't it? So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Alan Atherton says he can't win. I'm not entirely sure what it is that he can't win about. Can somebody help me?
Probably regarding to people want Speedway to end.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just saying you can't win.
Perhaps you could elucidate my old brain. Dylan Spuddy Hodgetts, evening all. First time I've been able to join for a while, so I've been looking forward to this all day.
Have we given permission to not come in?
I don't think so. Have we given permission to look forward to this rubbish?
We do.
Yeah, that's just true. Positive news for Coventry and their fans. Hopefully it's a starting point to bringing the track back to the sport. Still a long way to go, but it's great to have a boost to the campaign, and amen to that.
Yeah, Coventry are extremely fortunate that the local council are on their side as well. That's a big plus for them. So
Jim Turrell, we will give it our all. We fear no one. Is that Cradley again?
Ipswich, I think.
Is it Ipswich? Okay. You have to put your club colours up, guys, so that we know what we're talking about. Alan Atherton, it's going to cost at least 180k to clear the damage caused.
Yeah.
Well,
to rebuild.
I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. Yeah. But I mean, I would guess.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure if the best possible news thing happens and they do get back there, I'm sure there'll be fans of other clubs who'll go there and help. Try and put the place back together. So.
Yeah. It's Stoke's final team meeting for now at Leicester on Saturday night, weather permitting.
Sad, that isn't it?
It is sad. I like the positivity it contained in that.
Yeah.
For now, I love that. Nice one. Glasgow 22, Somerset 20 was this score that you gave earlier, wasn't it? Like you've got an update, have you?
Well, we'll have a look. Well, we are keeping up close tabs on that. It's unusual to have meetings on a Tuesday night, isn't it? So
that's sort of one
it's now Glasgow 32, Somerset 28. We after the track grading heat 8 was a 3-all. Glasgow got a 5-1 in heat number 9. Somerset have hit back with a 4-2 in heat number 10.
Nip and tuck then.
It's close. Yeah. That'll suit Somerset, I think, if it stays at school.
Yeah, they wouldn't be unhappy with that. Craig Smee, what did you make of the second leg playoff? I think the heats 13 and 15 are going to be very important in that match. What did you make of the second leg playoff? Track didn't look great, and many of the poor riders couldn't turn the bike. Hardly a good advert for the sport, was it? Calvin Tatum mentioned the track has a lot of clay on it, and if it rains, it becomes too soft on the inside.
Yeah,
difficult.
I think Ipswich has always had a lot of clay on their track. So
just provide a lot of grip, doesn't it? I guess. But also said it looked like a good racing track. How wrong? Again, I have to hold my hand up and say I didn't actually see the match. Unfortunately, I was in Woking. Yeah, but you did. What did you think? Was it as per? Could they turn the bikes? Was there a problem?
Some of the riders I think were having the problems, but I don't think the poor riders were using that as an excuse. To be fair, I think they were just beaten by a better side on the night.
And Brian Buck says weather forecast does say that Wednesday will be the best day of the week. Hasn't really got a lot to live up to do that.
Not really,
but, yeah, I mean, good luck on that. Massive thank to all the sharers. Somebody called Chris Brown. So get yourself sharing.
I mean, we have to say thanks, really. I mean, when we first started this venture, we were, on Facebook, we were pretty reliant on people sharing and commenting. We so we do appreciate it. Yeah.
And John Bulmer wants to know: is that a free coster?
It was a free coster. It's not there now. So.
It's an ex-free coster.
Yes.
And Craig Smith says, I've been following the campaign group at Coventry Speedway, and the pics of the stadium now means on the face of it, it's going to cost a lot of money to get it back to fit and proper stadium to host Speedway. However, at the beginning of the campaign, there was many volunteers offering to rebuild it for free. It'll be interesting to see if they come forward. Even when it happens, it'll be remarkable if they pull it off. It certainly would.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see whether we can get Jeff Davies on.
That would be great. That's a good call. Yeah,
talk about the...
possibly the first program of next season would be a good one, because hopefully there'll be more positive news. We will see though. We can. In fact, I'm giving you that job. Okay. We got claps now.
Yeah.
Got the clap. Spoke to someone involved. This is Alan Atherton. Someone spoke to someone involved with the stocks. He said it's going to cost at least 180k to make it safe, asbestos and so on. And Brian Buck says it's the little man versus big business at Coventry, so it will be a tremendous achievement if the little man finally wins. But in my view, Coventry do have the team that can do it. Good luck to them.
Well, I've read the full report that the Safe Coventry Speedway group put together. It was excellent, very, very professional. You know, it's typical Coventry, really. I mean, Coventry were always one of the most professional clubs in British Speedway, so it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good luck to them. You know, it'd be great to have them back.
Well, if it did come back, I think every Speedway fan in the country would come to that opening meeting. Everyone that could, anyway, would make their way to it. I certainly would. It would be brilliant to see. John Bulmer says 50p is on Mr. Palin. Okay. Thank you for that.
All right.
Michael Palin.
And Alan Atherton says perks all day long. Talking the NLRC. It is difficult to see past him, just as I say, there is a slight worry about his temperament. Derek Turner, how about Ryan Kinsley on the home track as well? Surely got to be amongst the challengers. Good shout.
Think about it as well. For the Romantics, it would be nice if Conley Coles won it, representing Stoke.
Wouldn't that be a nice thing? Yeah.
Because it's been a horrible few weeks for Stoke. Obviously, the abrupt news that they're not going to be running again in next year. So if they could bow
he could win it. I mean, he's got the experience. He's got, he's no mug at that level particularly.
Yeah, Ryan Kinsley as well. He's going to plenty of experience.
It's a hell of a.
It's a tough call. There's 5 or 6 rods, I think, in that field that can win it. To be fair, but.
I'm toying with the idea of going to it, actually. I think it's going to be a good meeting. It's a good track, Scunny, as well.
I've never been there.
Track. You've never been to Scunthorpe?
No.
You need to go.
Yeah.
It's a good track. You'll like it. A lot of dirt.
And
that's just the locals. So I'm so sorry.
GA is now banned on the Scunthorpe Speedway.
Trouble again now.
Shall I get my coat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear, I've embarrassed myself again. 32-28, was that the score that you?
That was the last score,
Yep,
yeah.
okay.
But we'll keep up to date with that. So,
right, yes, serious now. Who's going to win the world title on Saturday?
let's get to see.
I'm seriously considering having a flutter on Emil to nick it from under Bartek's nose in his own country. It's got to be the tightest ending to a world championship for a very long time.
3-way tie, isn't it? I'd love to see Emil win it. I've always liked.
He's been, he's a very exciting rider. Or he has been in the past. And let's be honest, you and me at the beginning of the season, our predictions did not include Emil Saifutinov. We was a little bit. What's a good word here?
Underwhelmed, I think.
That's a perfect word.
I mean, he probably hasn't been hugely consistent, but I mean, you look at some of his scores there: 6, 13, 11, 17, 14, 7. So it's maybe been a little bit up and down. If he'd been a bit more consistent, I think he would have,
He's got better as the season's gone on, though, hasn't he? And that's
sometimes
the best way to win.
You've got Bart Smarslick 118, Emil Saifutinov 111, Leon Madsen 109. So
it's all to pay for, as I can hear Calvin Tatum saying in my ear.
Right out of the top draw.
Yeah. Any more?
It's going to be, it's a 3-way tie, isn't it? 3-way battle for it, isn't it? I mean, it's different for Bartos this season because last season, of course, he was going into it with nothing to lose. because
This is
he was
true.
on great form. Possibly if there'd been another couple of rounds.
I guess the danger for somebody in his position is approaching it with the mentality of you just got to do the same as the other riders. As long if he gets 2 points, you've got to get 2 points. You know,
Yeah.
as long as you win the championship, don't you? In his position, but I think that's a dangerous way of. It's got to cross your mind.
I mean, this season, of course, the difference is this season he's the one being chased, so he's the one that's going to.
Looking over is.
There's going to be. I don't know. I'm not so sure what the crowd's going to be. It's going to be a full house.
You've almost got to approach it, haven't you?
Yeah.
From his point
Fantastic
of view,
racetrack.
not to look at what anybody
else.
else is doing, just trying to get as many points as you possibly can, and then see what happens at the end of it.
But don't rule Leon Madsen out either.
Well, no, because there's might forget about him and cock themselves up if I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting actually. Looking forward to seeing it.
Do you know what? I think Emerald's going to do it.
Well, there's a prediction.
I've got a feeling he's going to.
You're going to go for
I'm going to
Emil.
go for Emil.
He looked fast at Cardiff, didn't he? He did look fast.
He does ride Cardiff well, to be fair. I mean, he has won there before.
Just because I like the underdog, I want Leon Madsen to win because that would just be a brilliant story. And
Well, there's no reason why he can't. I mean,
No.
his son, he really turned it around at Cardiff, didn't he? Because, I mean, the interval, I didn't give him a prayer of winning it, to be honest. He didn't. I thought he might even make the semi-final at this race.
it's like it was a different Leon Madsen that got on the bike, isn't it?
And, of course, he's got a certain Hans Nielsen, of course, with him in the pits, who's got experience of,
yeah,
doing it
he's
on
a
the
good
front.
calming influence as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too close to call. You've got to say Bartek's favourite, though, haven't you? He's in the box seat. Oh, there's Calvin again. He's in the box seat. Yeah, we're going to say I'm going to turn it around now. Let's hear your predictions. Who do you guys think is going to win? Shall we put this on our? Yes,
We'll do a poll.
No, this I know what we're going to do. We're going to. This will be part of our league.
Go on, then.
We'll choose who's going to be world champion. So when whoever we do this week, we'll add this to it as well. There we go. Brian Buck, Brandon Stadium had a capacity of 30,000, which wouldn't be necessary if it could be reopened. I'd imagine that only the grandstand would need to be refurbished. The rest of the spectator accommodation could come later if it should be needed.
Well, it just needs the seats put back in, and whether it'll be the same seats, whether they've been disappeared somewhere or.
You see, we was talking about last week about a place where we could have a second British GP.
Well, Coventry's already staged, of course. It was the previous home to the Grand Prix, wasn't it? So,
Yeah, so I mean, if we could, that possibly would be a way of getting it back.
Yep.
So that would be. Well, let's just get it back. Let's just get it back. So yeah, don't put your predictions yet about the GP. We will do that in 10 minutes, and we'll go through everything else. Dave Twine, we won at Coventry when Nichols had his front spokes took out by Barney Pedersen. Yeah, I do. That was a nasty old crash.
Yeah.
I know I was very surprised that everybody just walked away from that one. It's actually on YouTube. If anybody wants to look at that, it's actually there.
Shall I read this next one because it's in Swedish?
You're going to do it in an Australian accent?
No.
You do it in Danish accent.
If you have time to comment, mates, pardon for my poor English, which leagues do you think is the best and why? In Sweden, I think that most of us would say Poland, Sweden, and then GB. And Denmark, roughly third or fourth place. Big shout out for the Somerset Rebels for at least two things. First, they've named a street. They've named a street to honour their late Emil Kramer. Means a lot. And then thanks for an absolutely great meeting on the Friday before the GP, SGB pairs. What a race. What a track. Awesome. Probably one of the best meetings I've ever seen during my 39 seasons around the tracks. Thanks for making the Speedway Tavern, mates.
Well, you're welcome. We love it. Best league. It's difficult to say. There are things about... You would have to say Poland in one sense. It's the biggest.
It's the strongest.
It's the strongest. It's got most riders. It's got the best riders.
Biggest crowds.
I'm not sure. I think the tracks are a bit samey. For me, that's a bit sort of full throttle.
Sweden is,
So whoever's
yeah,
got the strongest engine.
well, I know all the top tyres not riding in Sweden next year. Remember?
No, so I've
it's
heard. What I've seen is Sweden. It's got quite a short season, hasn't it, Sweden?
yeah,
I presume that. I mean, that would be down to as much as the they lose a lot of light at this time of year. I guess. So I would say Sweden and GP are possibly on a par with, but again, Sweden has better riders.
yeah.
You know, that's what we're missing out on. And I think
British Speedway has fallen a long way behind,
Yeah,
unfortunately, in the last. Probably you could look back to when the Polish League opened its doors to foreign riders about 89, 90, was it? Something like that?
something like that.
Yeah. So.
And you've got to also say that the tracks have been in not a great state this year. There's been a lot of complaints about the states of the tracks.
Yeah, a lot of riders not very happy with the preparation of British tracks, are they? So,
Which,
so
yeah. Although then you've got tracks like Somerset, as he said, Somerset's a great track.
yeah, I do
It
like
is a
Somerset. I was
great
really
little
impressed
track,
when I went there a couple of years ago. So,
And I still haven't been to the National Arena yet, so we need
National
to
Speedway Stadium,
that's
yep.
and that one, which is supposed to be a very good track, but on the sort of a Polish speedway size, isn't it?
yeah, I can't talk highly enough of the new Bellevue. So.
Yeah, you do it with through gritted teeth every time you do it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, anyway, thank you very much for Sweden. I've got to shut up, as I'm going to say something embarrassing again.
Why break the habit of life?
This is true. I was in Sweden last year on holiday, and I loved the place.
That was your fault.
Swimming in the lakes in Sweden is something I recommend to everybody. Unfortunately, I wasn't supposed to be swimming in the lakes. I was in a canoe, and me and the canoe parted company, so I couldn't get back into the canoe. So I had to take the canoe for a swim instead of the other way around. But hey ho. Dylan, sorry for my little diatribe about my holidays. Dylan Spuddy Hodgetts read today that Edinburgh have a big announcement to make on Friday after their meeting with Newcastle. Any predictions? Many Edinburgh fans predict it'll be Sam Masters signing for next season. I'm holding out hope it's that they're planning on moving up to the Premier League next season. Would be great to have Edinburgh in the top flight. Interesting.
I haven't seen that.
No,
it must have.
Could they be going into the top flight?
It's a big gamble.
It is, isn't it? I mean,
where they are at the moment, of course, you've got Glasgow, Berwick, Redcar, Newcastle.
Yeah.
If they moved up, their local derby would be Bellevue, and so
yeah. Unless
Glasgow
moved up as well. That's the other thought. Be great for the Premiership if that happened.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be so good for the Championship. Make us
small
league.
The big worry I've got at the moment is the National League because I mean it's losing. Obviously, it's already lost Birmingham and Eastbourne because they've moved up. It's losing Stoke.
Yeah,
Cradley's future's
uncertain.
Kent, I think, are hoping to move up at some point.
It's a good, nice little track. Kent is.
Yeah,
very tidy, but stadium, very nice track. That they would sit well in the Championship. Yeah,
and there's a bit of needle between Kent and Birmingham, isn't there? I think so. Well, there has been.
Well, there has been,
but
I don't think it's all that really. It's not a Wolverhampton Cradley thing. You know?
No, it's not quite that. So I can assure you that it's not that. So.
What do the boys make of the rumour that Eurosport have outbid BT Sports for the rights to British Speedway? By the sounds of it, it's Europe-wide coverage, as talk is. It is hoped that it will bring in Polish sponsors. Well, that'd be nice. I think wait and see first.
I must admit, I do get the impression with BT that it's sort of a little bit half-soaked, to be honest. Certainly, it's not brought the money in that the Sky deal did. I mean, is streaming. There's another possibility of doing.
Well,
it.
I have heard rumours that they're looking streaming
because that could bring revenue in for clubs, couldn't it? Streaming if they're streaming their own.
I've heard it said many times, and I think there's some traction in this idea that we'd be better off having a sort of match of the day program for Speedway.
Yeah, then you can
I think
show the horse and-
Yeah, and then you involve every club every week, and it's. I think there is definitely some traction. But of course, that costs money because you need cameras at every single meeting for a few. But maybe the streaming service could do something along that. I don't know.
Well, Alan's got it 37.29. It's not updated on all yet because it's now 35.31. So
Okay, one of you is right, and one of you. Well, you're probably both right.
yeah, someone's looking at a different meeting. So.
Derek Turner says Joe Lorna or Connor Coles for Stoke. I would love that.
It'd be great for the Stoke fans.
I would really love that. John Bulmer says, "Excuse me, GA. I'm guessing that's to do with one of my earlier embarrassing comments. I hope."
Which one?
Which one?
Yes, well, maybe John will write down your list of. Perhaps we should have a list of top 10 embarrassing comments. And Anders Rowe's got to come top of that list, of course.
Yeah.
Show just on that.
I find it funny these teams announcing moving up, etc., when apparently no talks have been had yet regarding the structure of next year's leagues. Well, nobody's said anybody's moving up yet, as far as I'm aware.
Teams aren't going to move until they know what the.
They can announce.
Or if we are going to have a top league, who's it going to be?
Yeah, they can announce their ambition to do that. But
I saw it coming from John Bulmer actually, whether you can go back to it. So about waiting for you to walk in the gates at Somerset. Yeah, see you as you walk in at Scunner.
oh dear.
So
I tell you what, if I do walk in the gates at Scunny, come up and you recognise me, and you probably won't because I don't look. Well, I don't look clean. Come and say hi anyway. That'd be cool. Who thinks the Pols will have team orders to ensure a Polska victory? Me?
it's happened before, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you know what?
Well, I can remember when Mark Laurent won it and Joe Screen practically really sacrificed his own Grand Prix career to help Mark win it when he.
So it happens.
Nobody said a dicky bird. To be fair, so
I mean, the most infamous one was the Bruce Pennell incident in the World Team.
Yeah, but I think that was way over the top, wasn't it? Really?
It was a bit. It was the way he did it, really.
Yeah, it was riding around at the back, pulling wheelies. Wasn't.
He wasn't hiding the.
The other thing that always makes you smile about that is if you see when they're on the parade truck afterwards, you got Pennell, Dave Jesper, I think, who won the meeting, and Kenny Carter, and you can hear the booing in the background, and there's a big grin on Kenny Carter's face now.
Yeah, yes.
Is he pleased because he's got through to the next round, or was he pleased because the golden boy to his right is?
I think there's I think we will be fair and say probably both.
Yeah.
Is Paul practicing his Swedish now?
Craig Smith says probably means no changes really, or 10 teams in each league.
There need more teams in the top flight, definitely. 7 is just not enough.
But there doesn't need to be less teams in the championship. Thank you very much. So yeah, it is looking. You would hope that maybe Kent will move up or something.
Yeah,
but
it's just the one that I've got is the National League at the moment.
Exactly. That's
a couple of years ago, the National League looked the most stable of the three. Now
you'd need some of the top flight clubs to perhaps run a second team.
Yeah.
Do what's Leicester's doing. Could Birmingham do that? They thought about it.
Well, when I started watching Speedway, all the clubs did it.
I know that they thought about doing it last year.
Because
it makes sense for a championship team to run a National League team, doesn't it? Because it then becomes a feeder.
Yeah. That's Wolves did it when I started watching Speedway, because I think Wayne Carter came through that. System done really well in the second team, and then he did so well that he was promoted and did really well in the first team. So
okay, yes, Carl, that's fine. We can do that for you. We'll just read this out for you. Yeah. So he says, "Hi guys, not sure if this is allowed, but could you give us a shout out with a show that I'm doing for all the fans of Speedway? It's called the Dirt Track Show, which will be March the 7th to the 8th at Kings Lynn Stadium 2020. We have Speedway, British Young Lions, Grass Track Quads, Sidecar Speedway, Flat Trackers, Monster Trucks, Stunt Teams, 18 hours of racing over 2 days." And he puts the link there, www.dirttrackshow.com. And I'm going to say even more than that now. So let's make our first show next at the beginning of March, and we'll have you on. So you can come and talk about it What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's not a
I
bad
think
idea.
that'd be so. Yeah,
Great idea.
we'll have you on. Simon Corbett, Schmarzlik, Mark Seeley, Poole. Sorry, I'm embarrassing myself again. Alan Atherton, 35-31, scrap last post. Right. Paul, PVR Racing, does Glasgow meeting tonight
No.
count in the league table?
No, not going to count tonight. Should we get on with that anyway? Because we got
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah,
League
okay.
so
we've got 9 fixtures.
we will
to do,
try
so-
and we've got 9 fixtures to go through, and we will try and get through as many of your comments at the end. But whether we're going to have any time is going to be difficult to say.
Do you want to have a look at the tables so far?
Shove the table up. Yeah, I believe I've moved up.
You have, yeah.
I don't know if you can
That's
see
the first time that's happened.
Can you see that?
One of us has moved down as well. So
that. Yeah, me. Oh, good day.
Good. The once and future king
Yeah.
is no more.
Oh well, I had a good run. I had a good run.
You certainly did.
I had a good run.
Right then,
So
shall we
the
just
first-
crack on?
yep, first one is tomorrow's match. The
Oh, sorry, before you do, just in case anybody's listening and haven't experienced what we're doing, we do this predictions bit at the end of the show. We look at which league are we looking at?
well, we're doing all the playoffs.
We're doing the playoffs, okay.
and the last Grand Prix.
And the last Grand
As a
Prix,
bonus.
because I just added that one because I'm stupid. So yeah, and we if you get the score right, you get a point. If you get the score exactly right,
Yep.
you get 2 points.
Yep.
And we go on the league table that you're just seeing. Join in, even if you haven't joined in before. It's a bit of fun.
And Carl's just said yes, he would love to be on the show. There you go.
Fantastic. Right, we will sort that. We will sort that. Well done, mate. Right then, let's go for it.
Far away.
Okay, the first one is the second leg of tonight's meeting, Somerset against Glasgow. As I'm
But you have to start since
Yep.
you're
well,
top
I've gone
of the-
Somerset by 8.
Somerset by 8. Okay.
I'll go
Webby?
Somerset by 6.
I'm going to say Somerset by 4.
Webby said Somerset by 6, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you said Somerset by 4.
I'm rather hoping it's going to be Golden Heats. That'd be something. Wouldn't it?
There's quite a few people saying Somerset by 6. Petersburg, Steve Turner. Craig Smith says Somerset by 4.
Okay.
Next one is tomorrow's meeting at Perry Bar, Cradley against Leicester.
It's up to you.
I'll go. I'll go Leicester by 6.
Yeah, I think Cradley. It's going to be tough for them. Have they got anybody in their team that's actually ridden Perry Bar? In anger?
Well, Max Clegg, isn't
Max Clegg, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, he gave well at Perry Bar.
Yeah.
He's won a few meetings. Okay. Do you know what? Just to keep it interesting, I'm going to say it's going to be a draw.
I've gone Leicester by 10.
And I didn't say that just because I didn't want any Cradley fans coming up moaning at me at the track.
They'll do it anyway.
Well,
But no, I think Cradley got nothing to lose for me. So
this is
tomorrow.
true. This
So-
is
Lots
true,
of
yeah.
difference of opinions on that
Yeah.
meeting. Loads. Well, carry on.
Okay, Swindon against Wolves is the next one.
Oh, yeah, you would have to give me that one to start.
Yeah, I
with,
would.
wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Let's have a carbon copy. I'm going to say 10 points to Swindon. I don't think you'd be too unhappy with that, would you?
I wouldn't be too happy, no.
Okay.
I mean, I've gone the same. I've gone Swindon by 10 as well.
All right.
I'll go Swindon by 6.
I'll be even happier with that.
Yeah. I think we'd have to scrape you off the ceiling.
Okay, the next one is Bellevue against Kent.
That's
That's an interesting one, that is. It's going to be,
Two very different sorts of tracks.
yep. But two strong sides, I
Yes.
think. So
This is the first leg.
this is the first leg, yeah. The second leg is on Monday.
Okay, let's get it's down to. Who's it down to?
It's down to me, this one.
Okay, it is, okay.
I've gone Bellevue by 8. on that one.
Bellevue by 8.
I'll go Bellevue by 6.
And I'm going to go Bellevue by 10.
Okie dokie. Next one is Redcar against Leicester.
I think that's going to be a tasty meeting.
Is it to me?
Yep.
I'll go Leicester by 4.
Really, I'm going to go the red car by the same amount, actually, for.
I'm going to go red card by 2.
We're all on the same sort of
Yeah.
ballpark there.
Yeah, most people are going for red cars, to be honest on that.
No, they've had a good season, red car, though. And I think I said last week, didn't they? They've been the most impressive team, I think, at Perry Bar this season.
Yes.
Apart from Brian Book.
Oh, well.
He's gone Leicester by 10.
Leicester by 10. Wow, that's bold.
The red car have had a few injury problems. That's the only thing, isn't it? So that might.
I understand they've booked a few really good games.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean nothing, does
Yep.
it? But
Okay, the next one, Leicester against Cradley.
Leicester against Cradley. Okay. That's down to you, I think, Webbs.
Is it?
Mhm.
I'll go Leicester by 6.
Leicester by 12.
Leicester by 16.
Okay. It's just got worse and worse for Cradley as we went down the line there.
Yeah. I'm not saying that because of my Wolves connections, Cradley fans, by the way. That's
No, you're just saying it because you don't like.
well, I am saying it because of Wolves.
Just a few. Leicester by 14, Leicester by 12, Leicester by 14, Leicester by 10.
Yeah.
Leicester by 10.
Okey-dokey.
Okay, next one is the match I'll be at on Monday. Wolves against Swindon.
I'm going to say Wolves by 10.
So that would be Golden Heats.
That
then.
would be Golden Heat, yeah. Both my predictions come right.
Okay, me next.
You too, yeah.
I've gone Wolves by 12, just to get through.
That would be.
I think it. I do think it'll be close. To be fair.
And Webby.
We start Wolves versus Swindon.
Yep.
I'll go Wolves by 10.
Wolves by 10.
Okay. Next one, Kent against Bellevue.
Kent and Bellevue. And that's down to thee.
Ooh, I've gone Kent by 12 on that one, which will put Kent in the final.
I actually think, I'm going to go 12 as well.
I'll go Kent by 10.
Okay, and for a bonus, who is going to be the 2019 World Champion on Saturday night?
And you're first.
I've gone for Emil Saifutinov.
Emil Saifutinov.
Yeah, I'll go the same.
Well, in which case I've got to go Bartok.
Yeah.
My last chance to gain something on you two.
As that's a bonus, should we give extra points for that one or just the number?
Oh, yeah, let's give
It'll
give a
a lot
chance.
of people are going to get it right, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Because
it'll
there's
give,
only
it'll
three
give a chance
options.
for people to climb a bit, you know.
I will say this: if there's a tie at the top, which is probably not going to be, but there is, that should be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're going to do, like a 5-point bonus?
I tell you what, we should do the 1, 2, 3, shouldn't we? No, it's getting too complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, double points.
Double points.
It's a black and white helmet.
Okay, so you get that right, you get 4 points, not 2. Is that what you're saying? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it interesting.
Exciting.
Come on, Bartok. I'm going to be rooting for you. I've got something on it now.
You got a Polish flag on you.
No.
So I put everybody put your scores up and I'll collate them and obviously we'll update them on the next show.
Absolutely. Talking of updating, Glasgow,
Let's have a look.
Somerset.
And it is now Glasgow 38, Somerset 34 with 2 heats to go.
Wow,
3 heats to go.
that is good. That
I have to say at the moment, Somerset I think will be the happier of the two. With that.
heat, 2 heats. Did you say 3 heats?
Yep. 2 heats to go. 3 heats to go, yeah.
3 heats, so it's 13 and 15.
The difference really has been at reserve. I mean, Glasgow have got 10 points from reserve. Somerset have got 1.
Right.
That's been the difference.
So heat 13 and heat 15 and absolute mega.
Yep. And heat 13 is, heat 13, it's just been awarded, given as a rerun. Chris Harris receives a warning for moving at the start. But that's Cook, Rasmus Jensen, Chris Harris, and Rory Schlein. I tell you what, he's had a good season, hasn't he? Rasmus Jensen. Ridden very well.
He has.
Ridden well for Swindon as well. So
I just got caught by Dave Twine's prediction. He said ex-Brummish Marslick. We're great Brummies, you know.
Yeah.
He rode 2 matches for us, and he's an ex-Brummie.
I think he'd be the third. Would be the third rider with the Birmingham connection to win the world
Hans
championship.
Nielsen,
And
Jason Doyle.
Yeah. And none of them will have been riding for Birmingham at the time. So
No.
it's
Poor.
We're not doing Leicester versus Stoke, says Derek Turner.
well, that's the cup meeting, isn't it? So should we?
Oh, go on.
Yeah,
let's shove it in.
go on. Leicester against Stoke in the National League Knockout Cup. I had that one as well.
Okay. Stoke by 20. There you go. You'll go.
Is that a genuine one, or are you just?
I think you can tell what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's at Leicester, by the way. So.
Yeah, I gathered that by the fact that Leicester came first. I know I haven't got as much experience as Special. Far more experience.
You're committing to that.
I'm committing to Stoke by 20. Yes.
Right. Ooh, I'll go Leicester by 14.
Coward. And
Leicester by 10.
there's no sentimentality here, obviously.
Yeah, if you're wondering which one of us is lowest in the table, I think that's given the answer. That one,
There is always next season. Right, I can't believe the time. I wanted to do a little thing tonight about. I did about which riders you would like to see riding for your team next season. So I think we'll do that next week's program.
Yep.
So have a think about that, guys. And I tell you what, who's your rider of the year? That'd be a good one to finish next week, wouldn't it? So, who is your rider of the year?
That's at your club, I presume, isn't it? So,
obviously, yeah. We could do both. Who's your rider of the year in your league? And who's
so, what we could do as well is this 2019 rider of the decade.
Oh, that'd get me thinking. Yeah, don't like thinking. Okay, so rider of the decade at your club.
Yep,
fantastic. Okay, thank you once again for joining, making it an easy show to do because of all your comments. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Come on, Bartek. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Come on, Wolves. Good night.
Welcome to the Speedway Tavern.